What's up, guys? Welcome to the Max Benders podcast. I am the Axe Benders. I'm the Axe Bender. This
Hey,
is
welcome to the Max Benders podcast. Axe Bender screwed up the intro already, so I'm going to take over. We are here
Hey,
with Matt
I might
Todd
screw it up
today.
every time. You interrupt me every time. I
Hey,
might screw it
Matt,
up every
what's
single
up,
time.
dude?
Do the same thing. What's up, Campsite? How are you?
I'm great. Gentlemen, how are
Would you like to be a podcast host?
I was with Danger for a little while, and so probably not.
Hey, brother. No, me and you will be the Camp Benders.
The Camp Benders. I like that.
Yeah,
That's
Camp
got
Benders.
a ring to it.
I'm going to write it down right here. That's so bad. So yeah, we are here with Campsite. You guys, I'm sure, know Campsite. He's been in the throwing world for a while.
It's not the Camp Benders.
What's that?
It's not the Camp Benders.
It's not the Camp Benders. You're right. We're past that.
Camp Benders. I don't know, man. It's kind of cool.
Thank you.
Or Bender Camp. What a great, rich last name.
Yeah, Bender Camp. Bender Camp might.
Mackenzie Bender Camp.
Oh my God, that sounds even worse. Oh.
If I was a stripper, I would name myself Mackenzie Bender.
Mackenzie Bender Camp.
Next up on stage, Poetry in Motion with Mackenzie Bender Camp.
Oh, man.
Great.
That would be a good name for a stripper, you know?
Man, we're what? We're a minute and a half in. We've already got the clip. That's good stuff. So,
well, when the podcast
Man,
fails, I know what I'm going to be doing.
The people call you the Can Man from the can pinning. Obviously, half spin can pins, no spin can pins, all spin can pins with you over there. Man, also kind of the founder of the the founder of the Illuminati. Am I correct?
Yep.
Thought so. So anytime you guys see that hashtag Illuminati or somebody using Illuminati, this is the guy that started it all right here. How you doing today, man?
I'm great. It's cold for the first time in a week and a half. It's been in the high 60s for a while. Today it's like a whopping 27 degrees. So
that's what it is at Mackenzie's place. It's like 60 something here in Arkansas.
It's 25 here.
So yeah. I got lucky.
It changes back pretty soon, so I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, today's a cold day, which is a good time to hang out with you guys. So
right. That sounds like Arkansas weather. Where exactly are you at, Joe?
So I live in Huntsville, Alabama, so 13 miles from the state line of Tennessee, dead center of the state. So the Tennessee Valley is what it's collectively known as. It's kind of engineering metro area. It's the largest city in Alabama right now, I guess. Lockheed Martin, NASA, the Space Force is coming here from Colorado. So yeah, a bunch of nerds.
We like nerds. We're nerd fans.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, I host a podcast with this nerd up here.
Yes.
So I can appreciate your accent. Being someone from the South that doesn't have an accent, I appreciate that as well. You have certain words, inflections, but you don't have the overall accent that most of them have down here. So good for you, buddy.
I was able to travel around a little bit after high school. I made some good choices and got to go live out in Colorado and Montana and stuff for a while. So every now and then I kind of get this northwestern-y thing, and then Taters comes out, and so then it's right back to down here. So
it's never the accent necessarily with me. It's always the words I use. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Please. Thank you. Well, everyone should use that, but stuff like that is usually how people can tell where I'm from. But yeah, that's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah, man. Arkansas is a nice part of the world.
Yeah, when you hear it for so much, it kind of starts to sound like nails on a chalkboard. I got a lot of backwoods people around here.
Yeah, I can appreciate the colloquialisms or a really genuine accent that's like almost hard to distinguish anymore. But if it's just going to be sloppy and lazy, then yeah, dude, it's I'm not really trying to hear that. But like a beautifully orated Southern story is still something that's still ear candy to me, man.
You got some fucking $10 words in there, brother. Good for you. Vocabulary's fucking
Yeah, that was when I was doing the GRE cards for my wife when she was getting her master's degree, doing the vocabulary a decade and a half or whatever ago.
I feel like I'm listening to Jim Ross when he would commentate like a Stone Cold Steve Austin match. He would always use behoove and stuff like that. Man, where do you get these words from? That's awesome. So
Only Latin root words. I don't do that Greek stuff.
yeah, I feel that. Mackenzie, you want to hit him with our first sponsor?
Oh man, our first sponsor is Joseph Dara with Broken Feather Knives. Hey, you got your EK knife?
I do. It's in there.
The one that I didn't con you out of?
You talking about the one you didn't steal? Yeah, it's in there. I forgot
The
to.
one I didn't con you out of?
Yeah.
By the way, I didn't steal it. I traded
stole
you
it.
3 knives.
Hey,
Joseph
I
Dara
gave
is
you
an
the
awesome
opportunity to
dude.
make it right.
You can get a hold of him on Facebook. You can reach out to him on Facebook Messenger, and you can ask him about his Bowies and his EK tribute knives. He's got some really cool designs.
Right, and then they say it every time. The EK is the one I use for quick draw. I swear by it. I haven't even thought about another knife.
And
since
his
I got the EK.
tomahawks are awesome.
Tomahawks are awesome. I don't imagine there's anything that he does that isn't awesome from the work I've seen and from the reputation that he has. I don't think he puts out subpar work for sure. But now we'll get started with Campsite here, man. Tell us how you got started and all of it.
So I started teaching firearms in 2016 and opened a gun range and stuff down here. And somebody, I guess, had either left or gave me like a little 3-pack sleeve of some SOG kind of bushcrafty throw knives or whatever.
Right.
And so a lot of times, when I'd be setting up everything for classes or whatever, I would throw them. I threw as a kid. I grew up, I was born in the late 70s, so ninja movies and everything. So every kid threw knives if you're my age. But it started to get, what I started noticing was it was kind of like a mechanic that was really similar to the defensive pistol classes that I taught a lot. And it was kind of the same distance, this 10-foot road. I kind of figured out the rotation kind of on my own. It took a little bit of a distance, and it was kind of a pretty designated math, it seemed like. Like if it was going to stick, my foot had to be in this spot in the grass or whatever, right? So it started to be kind of like a little fun thing. I got to save a little bit of ammo, just it was a cool way of just kind of like cross training a little bit in the beginning. But then it kind of got fun. And I would always film myself just to make sure that like my curriculum would kind of flow well and I could see where any improvement was, because I'm taking people's money, I'm taking their time. They need to get their money's worth. So when I was making content for like Instagram and whatever, the algorithm will feed you people. So Jason Johnson comes up. He was running like POF stuff, Patriot Ordnance Factory back in the day, AR platforms, Staccato. So he was a shooter and a knife thrower. So the algorithm was like, hey, check out this guy. So I'm watching him now throw knives going, that's what people do with knives? Like, okay. Danger comes in that algorithm and stuff. This is, like I said, like 2018 or something like that. And I'm the kind of guy that'll just ask, like, if I want to know about gear or something, because I know that it matters. So I hit up both of those guys and was like, what kind of knife do you throw? What kind of knife do I need to go add to cart to be awesome or whatever? Back then it was like flying steel, bullseye blades, stuff like that. So my first real knife was the Bushido from Bullseye Blade. That was Jason's kind of knife back then. This was back when we were doing like bottle caps on stumps, throwing them. So for me now, it's like I got a knife that I spent a little bit of money on. Now I kind of feel like it's more like my kit that I'm carrying to the range when I'm going to the range just to run it or to teach classes. But now I'm catching myself like not shooting so much, and I'm going for these bottle caps at 10 feet because it feels a lot like getting a gun up out of appendix out of a holster. And I mean, it's kind of like the same kind of mechanic, right? And it's the better you can repeat it, the more likelihood you're going to hit what you're looking at downrange. So now I'm kind of like, oh, this is the projectile enthusiasm that I love, right?
Right. Repeatable mechanics, I believe, is what you call it, correct? Yeah.
It gets to where I really start enjoying it, and when COVID started coming around, the jiu-jitsu gym had to close for a while, so there wasn't a whole lot to do. And now I'm throwing knives in the backyard. And now I'm finding the algorithm is finding me and I'm finding it. And all of a sudden there's like all these knife throwers. And so then it's like, Lobo comes out, that was my first, like, what is this? This IVA style was so nasty looking. I thought it was like different than everybody else that was throwing. His videos had this like intro and an outro, and it was kind of edited, kind of like skateboard vibey style. He was wearing the balaclava over his face for a little bit in the beginning.
Yep.
And I come from skateboarding. I used to own a few skateboard shops here. I was partnered with the largest indoor skate park in the state here. I was a rep for a while, so I really like that vibe of like a really cool video, a dope soundtrack. That gets me pumped to go and like do stuff, right? So when ammo got really expensive, I was shooting like 1,500 rounds a month, and I got down to like 200, 300 rounds a month, and I was just supplementally doing knife throwing to kind of keep that same kind of mechanic, and because dry fire gets not very fun either. So for me, knife throwing has only been a cross training for pistol shooting, really. But when I found like the community, I guess there's a lot of really cool people in there, and then there was all this video editing that was dope, and like I've never been a person to do that kind of stuff, but firearm like footage really kind of ain't my jam. I don't really want to watch people run and gun that much. I teach people who like carry one to keep their family safe. I don't really want you to be like, look at me, I'm an alpha male. Like, don't care, dude. Don't care. And so the knife throwing vibe was way more kind of like, some of it was goofy, some of it was just like mind blowing trick shots, and the trick shot thing was kind of where I gravitated, because like I the first year at Danger Fest, I competed. The second year, I just hung out with everybody because I want to do walkbacks. Like I want a barbed wire catheter. Like I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But like vibing in the backyard, listening to music and catching cans or rings or whatever, like that shit got super fun. And then it was all of this micromanaging movement to do things correctly. And like, I mean, there's lots of ways of doing it, but to do it like 3-4 times in a row, or, do exactly what you want to do. I mean, that takes a little bit of skill development, and it just so happened to parallel what I was doing kind of for a living. There's a large part of my supplemental income was teaching firearms, and it was fun. It was no ear pro, no eye pro, no loud noises, not worried about someone, throwing an ND my way at the range or something. It was like, and it was that distance that I thought was so perfect. It was like, man, this is that 10 to 12, 15, 18 feet. This is pistol shooting all day range, and it's really similar in mechanic, and it costs like goose egg to do once you just buy a knife or sharpen a punch or fucking whatever,
screwdriver.
Yeah, so we got this super fun, and like everybody has said, I've listened to all of you guys' podcasts. Amy's was great the other day.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. But like everybody says, the community's awesome. Cupcake said it. Like the community, it's just so many cool people. So like the positive reinforcement of it's okay that you suck, you'll be better tomorrow. Like it was everywhere, and so next thing you know, you're like, it could be anybody, And this is kind of like
tomorrow's still coming, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it was a super perfect time to get introduced to it. I think that personally, that was a really hot point in knife throwing was 2019 to 2024. There was like a lot of like heavy hitters came out, a bunch of creativity came out. There was a bunch of like mind blowing tricks that came out. It got a lot of movement. Danger blew the fuck up, which was great. Lobo did the same thing out of D2A, like shortly for a little while. It was like 60,000, followers, like kind of immediately. I don't know how that stuff works or really care, but it's always good for eyes, right? I mean, for everybody to see it. I don't really care that like John from New Hampshire in his cubicle on his smoke break watched my video and showed it to a coworker, but it is cool when like, Jonas or TJ or you guys or, say fucking rad, right? Because it's like you guys actually throw, like so. For me, it was always about like if somebody in the culture liked what I was doing, that was all that mattered. Like I don't have a bunch of followers, never had a whole bunch of views on stuff, but the views and the followers that I have are from people who are like y'all, have like medals hanging up on a wall somewhere. So like way more valid for somebody like you guys to be like sick, as opposed to like, hey, you see that guy who threw that knife? It's like, oh, fucking high five to you too, bro. Like, not discounting it, but it's not why I do it,
Right.
And I do think that a lot of people have kind of gotten away from, because back then I think it was more for knife throwing and not for knife thrower. And I think now it's kind of getting kind of like knife thrower oriented instead of knife throwing. And that might cause like a little bit of growth issue, maybe. Lots of hobbies or, whatever. I'm into disc golf now, and it's got It has way more traction than knife throwing does, but it's still kind of in its infancy, similar to this, right? But what I don't see there, what I do see is everybody does it on like a collective. Nobody's going to the disc golf course with like a cape on, being like, "Fucking look at me, bro." It's just like, hey, get on the card. We got to go play. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, so anyway, long story short, how I got started was for it to be a cross trainer for pistol shooting. That's still what it is. I've never considered myself like a thrower, because yeah, I don't compete. I sit in the backyard and throw stuff, and that's cool. But
I mean, that in itself makes you a thrower. You might
Yeah.
not consider yourself a thrower, but everybody
100%.
else does. So,
well, I appreciate that. When I'm around, when I'm at Danger Fest and stuff, I don't feel like an outcast or anything. But I know that they are there for business, and I'm there to drink all of Mac's beer out of the camper.
I'm sorry you have to do that. I know he grabs that beer.
He has pretty good beer choices, I think. I mean, it's out of the camper. You can't expect too much.
Yeah, if we were at a county fair or in a rockabilly band, but that PBR is not for shouldn't be for anyone. They shouldn't sell
Dude,
that
I
anyway.
like it.
Super cold. It accompanies crab legs remarkably well. Oddly enough, I don't know what that is, but it is kind of a thing. So
Yeah.
if you like water bugs, and if you don't, then yeah, PBR maybe not have
Very
any
well
place
cooked,
at all.
rare
Yeah.
steak. It's delicious.
Hey, glaucoma medication. Speak up.
With a very, very good cooked rare steak.
Thanks, buddy.
It's delicious.
Let me tell you something about this guy's cooking, though. So, I mean, I love Mac to death. Like, he's been one of the originals since the jump with me. 2023 Danger Fest, we all get there early, and he pulls that big-ass camper up. And my father-in-law especially is a connoisseur of bacon, and my wife, him and her both love, like, potato chip crispy bacon. I like it floppy-ass bacon.
Oh, yeah.
He makes a plate. I have a picture on my phone. It's on my Instagram even. He made this perfect plate right down the middle of this like charred, blackened, crispy bacon and floppy bacon. Like, it was like no one told him to do that. But if you're camping with other people and you're offering bacon and you are willing to take the time to make floppy bacon and crispy bacon, that says so much about your character, I think. I mean, that when I saw that, I was like, this guy, man. Like, I'd already known him for a few years, but like he was my everything 2022 Danger Fest. I did not come prepared to mentally enjoy the weekend because I did not know what sort of caliber of demographic I was about to just come into, and when I realized how ill prepared I was, he made sure that I was not so ill prepared the entire weekend. So
Oh, and it was a blast too, wasn't it?
I still, dude, that was a really fun one. That was a really that was. I hate driving, and I drove 9 hours there and 9 hours back, and it was worth all of it, dude. And it was super fun.
That must be nice. He doesn't feed me, and he makes me sleep on a fucking shelf.
Yikes! I mean, there are some
Deserve it.
shelves in there. He's packed some people in there before.
Yeah, but my long ass, dude, I can't even stretch out on the dining room table bed. I got up on the shelf bed one day, and it's just a shelf because he took the fucking cushion out of it. So I've got to lay up there on a shelf. Every time I move, it's kicking the shades, the blinds, making noise. I'm like, I fucking hate it here. I hate it here. The worst night of sleep I ever got in my life, dude. I woke up
So
like
awesome.
2 years old. So hell yeah, dude. Bacon and nice beds. Mackenzie, what's up?
What?
What's up? Why don't I get bacon and nice beds? What's up with that?
Dude, got to give it the bacon, man.
Thank
Oh.
you.
Nah, that's for me. I wait till he goes down and starts doing stuff, and then I run up there and I start making bacon real quick, eat it real fast, and then I run down there and start throwing.
Hey, man, I get it.
He doesn't know me very well because I'm gonna forget at least 3 things up there and walk back while he's making the bacon.
He usually does.
Yeah. So you kind of touched on your throwing journey already into Danger Fest. Danger Fest is the only one that you ever go to, correct?
Yeah, and it's just a vibe with the people. I mean, I don't have any interest really in competing or whatever, but it's super fun to watch. The fast draw the first year and the second year both. really solidified to me that if knife throwing is going to like really get out and go, that and speed knives are going to be huge. I think if it's going to be like in real time watching, you know, like
Yeah.
I think trick shots are always going to like probably push a lot of the viewing, like the videos that get like tons of views. But I think like everybody took breaks. Like if you weren't on the line for walk back, you were at the camp, you were getting your head straight somewhere, you were going to the bathroom, whatever. Quick Draw came, and it was just like, you know, a train wreck and a fist fight, and you know, it was in a Jello bowl. I mean, it was just like everybody was there, and
everybody's talking shit to everybody. I love it.
Yeah, and until that timer turns yellow and everybody shuts the fuck up.
Yeah.
And I mean, so that also shows like how into it everybody is. Like nobody is in conversation like this, and then like, oh, they're you know, it's like glued.
Right.
Yeah, dude. The coolest thing is like as soon as they say throwers ready, you can hear everybody chatter, and it's like you're in a fucking stadium, and then all of a sudden just quiet.
I think that's also where I think that knife throwing is going to be able to have the potential of getting sponsors. It's the one time that you guys use more equipment, like you're using a sheath, so you got another sponsor. If you want to do belts, you got a sponsor. If you wanted to do footwear, as abstract as that would kind of be, but it's still an opportunity.
I mean, the timer itself, M3, the timer itself is just another little accessory.
Well, and that helps the community. That helps Aaron. And yeah, so now you have to actually buy stuff, you know, and the cost of entry to Fast Draw, like that $250 timer, like you better be pumped about it, you know.
Oh yeah.
Which you have to do that for it to like move forward, I think. And that's the thing, you know, with knife throwing, where like skateboarding is almost as simple, but you do have a deck, bearings, wheels, grip tape, trucks, hardware, shoes. I mean, you got all these companies already. With knife throwing, you have knife.
I mean, you got the
chemical dependency target. You know, like you don't really have a whole lot of stuff. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, the thing I would be able to think of would be the scales with vapor blades and maybe like a knife roll, or something.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is like what I'd like to see it get, and I can't believe that a beverage company hasn't got on with the trick shot thing. It kind of hurts my feelings a little bit. And not that I've tried, but so many people have reached out to companies, and they're kind of like, "No, we're not really interested." And it's like, why? Red Bull just picked up disc golf this year, and that's insane. It's going to be such a huge change. Gannon Burr got $239,000 last year in tournament money. 19-year-old kid playing disc golf. It's pretty strong money, right? And that's kind of the thing is like, you know, so many people seem like they want to become something out of a hobby, no matter what it is. You go to the skate park, every kid wants to be pro. You go to the disc golf course, everybody wants to be pro. Same thing with knife throwing. I would like to see like an avenue for people to get something out of that other than, you know, but I mean, the accolade thing is rad, but dude, cost of going to this stuff is hundreds of dollars, you know, like if you're going to go camp, you're getting 13 miles to the gallon. You know, if you want to have a good time, you're going to spend a few $100 there. Cost of entry, whatever money you lost at home for not being at work, you know, so it's kind of like, I would like to see it pick up some sort of sponsorship. And I personally think, just because watching it through skateboarding and BMX and all the stuff back in the day, brands had videos. Like we all have individual content, but like Print Steel Knives, you know, it'd be dope if he had like a 15-minute, like long form, everybody that reps Print Steel having like a part. Like, I mean, you guys have all watched skateboard videos. You have some dope ass intro of what to expect in the video, somebody's part, banger, 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 outro credits. Like, there's so much knife throwing content that's heavy and rad, and a lot of it is old, and some of it, some of the new people have never even seen some of our old bangers back when we were like really doing like heavy stuff. So like, I think it would be cool, like if nobody, you know, had like his crew had like a video, just like Zero or Toy Machine or whoever back in the day. Like, I think that would really help propel the culture part, because singularly people are getting views, which is dope, but knife throwing isn't coming up with the knife throwers. People are just watching knife throwers do knife throwing, and the algorithm is, you're getting likes on that, which is dope. But that, I don't think that's going to pick up everything. And so if it, other than the tournaments and that side of it, which I don't even see any of that. All I see is the lifestyle, see Jericho and all these guys that put out content all the time, Django, all these guys. That's all that I see. And it would be really cool if like that could get condensed and then it could get sold, or it could get, put out on these kind of platforms where somebody can. I would love to death scroll anybody's Instagram if I didn't have to go next. Just like if there was a way on Instagram, you could just go, you start watching this video and it just keeps feeding you all the videos. Dude, I mean, several times I have, especially like new throwers, if they have like 60 videos already and I've never heard of them, I'll go watch all 60 of them like back to back to back to back to, and it's rad. Like it's kind of like watching a video, but I have to stop and go and stop and go. It'd be so cool if you could just watch, 3 minutes of bangers from somebody and then watch 3 minutes of bang. And these guys are all under this company umbrella of whoever, like pick your brand. I think it would be, because like your edits on every Friday, they are so sick. Like they're so polished. They're the exact same thing that, Lobo and me and you and Jake and Dom and all that, Mitch, like in the beginning, like it was all like dope ass intro, some like banger. They were always too long, like 54 seconds or something. So nobody probably ever watched everything. And then we had like outros like, yeah, Goon Squad, Illuminati, I love that format. Like most everybody wants like a 4 second short. Like I'm 48 years old, dude. Like, can I sit here for a second? I'm tired.
Yeah.
Show me 3 minutes. Show me 8 minutes. Like, show me a banging edit with I think the last 2 years I have only made content because I got a song in my head. Was like, man, that song's dope. I'm gonna go stick a can to a piece of wood out in my backyard so everybody can listen to it. Like
I've done
it's
that.
not even good footage. It's like another 4 or 5 meter half spin in the backyard. But check out that soundtrack. That thing hits. You know what I mean? It was just like,
sometimes people will watch the video just for the song, just to hear the song. Doesn't
dude,
matter.
I mean, so many times watching skateboard videos before I go to the skate park, I put on my favorite the video part that had the dopest track. Like Age of Consent by New Order or something, Jerry Jesus part. And it's like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, don't even watch it. You're just getting all your stuff together. Like, you've already watched it so many times, you know what he's doing during the song. And then you go to the park and, yeah, you think you're awesome and you're not, but it's still super fun. And that's, yeah, I mean, so for me, it's like now it's just something to vibe to. But, and I'm very appreciative of so many content creators, right? Like, there's so many now.
Going back to the drink spot, you're surprised a drink like can hasn't. I'm surprised. Like Liquid Death is the one that surprises me the most. Like the can looks and the whole like vibe around their stuff. I'm like that should be a no brainer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Liquid Death. But I
they're
know
just going to have to get approached correctly, and that's the other thing is I don't really know if anyone is selling this to anybody. Because if it as cool as all of this is, and we've all done stuff that is like, what the fuck is that? They don't care, bro. I mean, it's kind of like only we do. Yeah, that's kind of like with the Never Been Dones or world records or whatever. It's kind of like there's only 643 of us on the planet throwing aluminum cans in the air. Like, it's like the world's not trying. It's like the world's not trying it, bro. Like, you did it, awesome. And that and that goes back to it's right now it's about knife throwers and not knife throwing.
Yep.
And knife throwing ain't going to grow if you're neglecting the throwing part and you're just trying to grow the thrower part. It's just like they are separate. And rising tides lift all boats, and I think that does need to be. And that's another reason why I think the brand cohesive long form video would be so sick, because then it's like, oh, I didn't know that Lauren Dennis and so and so all threw for Prince Steel. Fuck, that's rad.
Yeah.
Or watch. Then the brand gets an identity also, as opposed to just a logo and the 400 people that have bought their shit.
Yeah.
It's like
now people can almost pick their favorite team based off of like you've got multiple knife throwers that you like. They can almost pick their favorite team off of that.
1,000%, and that's what people want to do anyway. I mean, when I was in my skateboard shop, like, yeah, there were kids that only would ride like Zero with Thunder trucks and Spitfire wheels because so and so rode that, and somebody else's. Element and Venture Lows and 50 millimeter whatevers because so and so rides that. And it's like, y'all might totally would be so much better on another board, but you'll never care because that's my identity, bro. Like baggy pants, skinny pants, pink shoelaces, black hair, pink hair. I mean, it's all of that stuff, right?
Yep.
And knife throwing has all of that in abundance. I just don't. I mean, and maybe it doesn't want to do that. Like it's not my place to force the progression of it in that direction. I just see it very synonymous with those types of things, like skate. Because so many of the guys that I know, Zachary Rabelais, dude, he was a gnarly skater back in the day.
Mhm.
Dom used to. I mean, he skated Philly, like Love Park and shit. So like, Danger was BMX, Oki was BMX. I had skateboard shops. Like so many of us translate to this. It's kind of like you get my age, you buy a Harley and you buy a wide skateboard, and you learn how to barbecue or do micro brew. You get in where you fit in as you age. I think knife though, when you can pick up. I mean, y'all remember Aiden, like James Nation's whole family of just like in diapers doing ring catches in the house. Like, I mean, you have all of that to be old people. JW or whoever's like the oldest cat that's still throwing. Like, it's got such a long shelf life for people. I think it needs to find a way of like getting in there and having like a nice long game for people to really enjoy, like surfing and skateboarding and the stuff that people grow up doing and they do it their entire life, rock climbing, like pick your whatever. It's always going to be kind of obscure, I think, but I think it is kind of obscure to a fault right now, given how much content there is out there that, I see some videos that are like amazing and they have 34 views and like 6 likes and no comments. And I'm like,
because of the amount of content that they're pushing out. Like we talked about it the other day. They don't
can't do it every day, man. We used to do it every day, and I just don't think that's the play.
Everybody here is kind of guilty of it or did that at some point where you were putting them out every single day. You're not giving that video time. Me and Marcus had the conversation about it, Soul Thrower, the other day. You're not giving that video time to go viral. You're burying it.
Exactly right.
Videos.
Or I mean, and I was super bad about it, and I still am. It's like, I'll throw 5, 6, 8, 24 tricks in a video. And it's like, why did you put 28 can pins in there? Like, calm the fuck down, dude. Like, just put them in stories and pepper them forever. But
you did 110 one day, so I can confirm. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's
nobody's continuing, especially with the attention span. Everybody's so small. They're going to be done watching 30 seconds to a minute tops, and they're going to scroll on. And I'm just going based off of what I know that I do.
Long intros anymore. I'm kind of like, well, there you go. And I'm like, I was notorious for like a long, stupid ass 8-second graphic intro for like way too many tricks. It's like, dude, cut that down to 9 seconds. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
And that's kind of unfortunate. And so maybe the long form idea is trash. Having like a brand videos, it may not do anything. I know that I still get on YouTube and I will look up like skateboarding 2026. And I'm looking for the 43-minute video of the company. I want to see Cliché out of the UK, and I want to watch all of their guys. Like, I don't want to go watch one guy's 6-minute part. Like, I want to watch the whole video. Like, I'm going to sit down and watch it like I'll watch anything, like a movie or whatever. Because, I mean, it takes some time,
It depends on the area that video is being shared. Social media is so sporadic with your attention.
Right.
But if you put like Vegas, you put something on like that on a big screen while everybody's waiting for the next event, watching that,
bro,
that's going to kill.
I think every brand should take it upon themselves to see an incentive for that. Like while you're sitting at your table, have like a TV behind you with all of your guys like killing it with these knives that are for sale. Like,
yes, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Go to a motocross race and somebody has a booth at Fox and like there's their guys doing like 60-foot tabletops on a flat screen behind you, and here's the bars you can buy to be that guy. I mean, it's all of that for me because, like I said, I don't do the competition part, so I've only seen it as like an interest and how could it be better for everybody. Like I get kind of business minded about it only because there's so many people that want to be famous, and it's like famous doesn't get you anything except people know where you live and bother you probably. But like making a little bit of money off of it's not bad. No, yeah, go ahead.
I said it gives you a lot of attention. A lot of attention isn't necessarily a good thing all the time.
100%. Yeah. But also, and again, it kind of goes back to, do you want to grow throwing or throwers? Because growing throwing will require money. And if you grow throwing, it will give throwers money. And that's kind of, it's just like planting a seed. You know what I mean? It's like, there's got to be a way that there has to be a reason for people to want to come in and give somebody money. And it can't just be because I have social media content. And that's the other thing is, Red Bull doesn't sponsor people because they have 4-second shorts on YouTube. They sponsor people because these guys, go to all the competitions and do all the gnarly shit, but they have long form video. Because a company, why would you want to compete in a realm of 4-second videos? There's trillions of them and billions of different topics for just dopamine spikes for people to watch. Knife throwing it should be respectable. I mean, that's kind of why I came up with the term knife catch for, throwing and catching stuff, because it's really hard to tell somebody, what do you like to do? Well, I like to throw an aluminum can after I drink it in the air 4 or 5 meters, and then I like to chase it down with a knife into a board. What is that called? Throwing a can in the air and then chasing it. And it's just like, man, give it a name. Mac and I were talking in the beginning about, all the names for the trick shots. Yeah, in skateboarding, like a tray flip's a tray flip, a kick flip's a kick flip. It's not I put my foot here and then do some shit. It's like, it has a name. And I think it will definitely validate throwing a little bit more the more etched in the culture part is, because you guys have all these ICTOF rules and Waddle rules and these target stencils and this, and then you get into the trick shot realm, where is what gets everybody all the likes on their social media platforms, and ain't nobody got no names for it, don't call it nothing. It's just like, bro, is this like your side chick that you just smash when you're girl's not home? Like, what are you doing, dude? Like,
yeah, sometimes I'll think so hard on a name, I'll just come up with a dumb one, and then, I mean, that's embarrassing, but that's better than nothing.
Yeah, like with the ring catching it slide off, calling it a divorce. Great,
yeah.
I love those kind of things. I mean, when people come up with names of stuff, and also it gives you value. It's like when you're a kid and you mow grass and you get money, you don't go and waste that. You're like, hell no, I'm going to go to Cancun when I'm grown up, whatever it is, right? So, I mean, it just gives you a little bit more stake in it, I guess, for lack of a better term. But yeah, it just has so much potential, and it's so cool, and it's so worldwide, right? Like, I mean, there's nothing cooler than seeing somebody in Switzerland with the same shirt that I have.
Yeah.
It's like, where'd you get that? It's like amazing, dude. Like, it's so cool. So I really hope that it gets the growth that it deserves. But it's going to be fast draw, speed knives, and or trick shot content, because ain't nobody going to be throwing can after can, pin on them first try, and nobody wants to watch fails. I get so tired of the comments like, "How long did that take you? 100 years?" It's like,
Yeah.
maybe. Like, do you want to watch me not make it, bro?
Right.
Like, newsflash, didn't happen first try every time. Next, what is that? Like,
the whole point is training your body. You said repeatable mechanics. It looks like a trick shot. I've always considered it a drill. Working
exactly.
Repeatable mechanics.
You're exactly right. Exercise, drill. And I've always got turned away from I have a challenge for you, and it's like, well, I don't want to do it now. It's just like, call it a drill. Like, it's, I mean, you only do it once. Calm down.
I kind of use the whole trick shot video editing deal kind of as my creative outlet to draw people in.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They see that.
Yes.
That's how I got into it. I was flipping through TikTok.
That's it.
Danger was the first person that popped up on my TikTok, and I was like, holy shit, he blew my mind.
Insane. Throwing stuff in the air and catching it. I remember I was working at the gun store, and I come out of the gunsmith room, and I'm like, everybody look, customers and shit. I'm like, you suck at life. Look at this guy. It's like, you'll never be. And I never thought I would ever catch anything. March 22nd, 2022, I'm on the phone with Lobo. I'm driving to the gun range, and as I'm about to pull up the driveway, he's like, hey buddy, you ought to try the chem pin. And I'm like, no. He's like, do that underhand no spin. And for some odd reason, I had like an underhand nose. It's 3 meters. It's just flying out of your hand. It's not a throw at 3 meters. But anyway, like 10 or 15 minutes, there's a Black Rifle coffee can stuck to a stump in front of me from me, you know, and I was like, I'm calling, like, see this, you know, like, it was insane. I couldn't believe that I threw a can outside and hit it with a knife. I mean, I didn't even celebrate because it was so uneventful. Like, it was just, it happened and it was over. It was like seeing like a plane go, you're like, oh, there it was, you know, like, there it is. Was way cooler 8 seconds ago when I thought I'd never do it. You know, then you do it, you're kind of like, oh, you know, it's like sex for the first time or something. It's like, that's okay, cool. But yeah, I mean, it changed everything. And then, you know, then you start catching like, you know, little bitty things.
Yep.
It's like, who does that? And it's like, we all do that. You know, there's like hundreds of us that do this. It's like
the hardest part for me was throwing something with my left hand, because I can throw whatever I want with my right hand, but now I have to throw a can with my left hand. That was the hardest part for me. The can pitch is so important.
Dude, it's so important. I mean, why so many people have discounted the pitch is beyond me. Like, I don't understand, because that's what you're trying to pin. Like, visually tracking it, processing, like the point that it gets to an apex, and now gravity is just going to drop it. Now, once it gets to where it is in the air, there's no more chasing it left to right. You shouldn't be, unless you're outside, like in a wind or something. I throw empty cans, so they're a little bit more prone to movement. But once it gets in that apex, and then you start getting confident enough to know where that apex is in relationship to where your knife will be at that point that you've processed. Now it's starting to drop. Right. I've got 8 inches to get this thing 5 meters to hit that. Yeah. I mean, all of that's great.
You have to take into account, this is something I learned when I was doing the Illuminati the Facebook competition they were doing on the Thrower Federation page. Every can is going to go different. The bigger cans are going to balloon. They're going to fly like a balloon. Smaller cans are more compact. They're going to go straight where you tell them to go.
Yeah, I throw cheerleader beer cans almost only, like the Topo Chicos, like the skinny ones. They are so much easier. Yeah, exactly. They're so much more predictable in the air. And the pitch, Mac and I throw pitch a lot different. Like, I'm straight up just like crane here.
That's what I do.
And it usually goes 1.5 or 2 rotations every time. And it's just like you get that tactile feel, and you're able to get real delicate in your hands. Mm-hmm. And it's all the repeatability. And for me, you know, some people like to hunt for stuff, and there's a skill set in that too. I think the turn and burn is way better practice for hunting than just haphazardly throwing one in front of you. Like that turnaround and reorienting, getting your stance ready and putting everything down. It's kind of like fast draw. Like, it's very time oriented. But I love nothing more than throwing a can and then throwing another one and sticking that thing right on that can. Is like, that's dope to me, man. I mean, because I'm overstanding what I'm supposed to be doing to be task oriented. That's why I've never really celebrated. Like, I don't ever get like, yeah, all right, which is fine. I come from shooting, and you know, nobody shoots a target and turns around and goes, ah! You know, it's just like, yeah, it's $1.80 a shot. You're supposed to hit it. You know, you're wasting money if you're not. So, you know, for me, it's like it's task oriented. It's like a drill, like you said, it's exercise. Like, I'm trying to do that. You know, I am expecting myself to do this. I don't want to just be time and probability, and maybe one day I will. It's like, well, I have other shit to do. Like, I'm an adult. I run a farm. I got stuff to do. I can't just sit out in the backyard all day long and hope for the best. You know, like, I'm trying to do this so I can go do something else.
One day, Jeremy just became the best.
On that, let's shift focus before we get off track and lose time, because I've got a championship game, not for me, that other businesses are coming to do, and I got to put boards up and shit. So cool. I'm trying to manage my time here, which is something I never do. I've never been an adult like that.
Man, proud of you. Good job, bud.
Thanks, buddy. I'm proud of you. So I'm going to hit our next sponsor, Prince Steel Knives. Louis Prince, fantastic maker, fantastic person, fantastic thrower. Some of the best knives that you will get for competing. This is his Aries no spin knives. That one there that Mackenzie has is his stiletto. Also have his spin butcher here. Fantastic knife. Mackenzie's got a hawk. I've also got a hawk. I always like to point at Mackenzie when I show this one. Broken Bird. Fantastic hawks. There are a lot of people that go to competitions that compete with Prince Steel, and there's a reason that they do, because Lewis is such a good maker, and they're so the level. You realize how good a throw knife is until you get it from someone who is also a thrower, who also throws. And Lewis is one of those people that competes with this. Fantastic maker. If you go and you decide to buy something, make sure you use the code MaxBenders for 10% off your purchase at checkout. Other than that, my local sponsor, Little Italy, fantastic Italian food, large two-top pizza, $10.95. Can't beat that. Mac knows Mr. Tom. Mr. Tom knows Mac. Unfortunately for him, I'm sorry I introduced you guys.
Mr. Tom likes me. Okay.
But yeah, you guys go to Little Italy if you're coming to Mina. Fantastic food. Go check them out. Other than that, we will get back to our guest here, Campsite. You kind of touched on your life outside growing, the farm, the firearm stuff. Can you get a little bit more kind of in depth in that?
Yeah. So the farm is it's my wife's family. It's a sod farm, so we grow Tifway 419 Bermuda, Emerald Zoysia for like really bougie houses and stuff like that. And it's been in their family for multi generations. I have property in Athens. It's kind of the same thing. Just not a farm anymore. It's just a big piece of property that I pay property tax on now. So. But at any rate, yeah. So I get to play farmer all the time. Take my dogs to work every day. Run around barefoot and
Hunting arrowheads.
it's pretty. Yeah. I'm always finding artifacts out there. We're just out of the flood zone of the river, and I find stuff all of the time. And I've been doing that since a kid, so it's been a great occupational hazard. To I'm always having to stop, the tractor and like get off and pick up a rock, and it's kind of methy, but I don't do meth. It's just kind of like a methy looking habit.
Hey, buddy, I'm from Southwest Arkansas. You look distinguished to me.
That's awesome.
What a distinguished gentleman.
But yeah, so the firearm thing, I pretty much just teach privates anymore. I used to do like quarterly basic pistol classes and then do defensive pistol, carbine stuff. I've taught all the curriculums, but I mainly focus on defensive pistol. Now things are too weird, so I have to pretty much vet pretty heavy if I want to spend time with somebody and a gun that's a stranger anymore. So
yeah,
but it has been very eye opening and a lot of fun. I've taught lots of people from door kickers to victims of violence, and I think everybody should have one, know how to use one. I would like for everyone to know how to use one before they own one personally, but that's just my mileage of being around them. I worked at a gun store that's the largest privately owned gun store in the country. We do $1 million a month in sales, and guns aren't really expensive.
Hell yeah.
But I was a gunsmith there, their chief range safety officer for about 8 years, and I just saw everything. I saw so many negligent discharges and poor use of any sort of common sense and delusions of grandeur and everything in between, and then have 60-year-old housewives take a class and put 8 out of 10 rounds in a thumbnail at 15 feet with the gun that they just bought, and it was it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot about how to teach, but it also taught me a lot of how to learn, and I think that really helped me get into knife though. And there's nobody around me that throws knives for hundreds of miles. It would be Zach in Atlanta, it'd be 4-hour drive.
Mackenzie's the closest one to me is 4 hours.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was really nice to know how to teach and know how to learn, like what was important. Stance is important. Weight distribution is important. How much grip you have on the knife release is important. What are you looking at is important. And so, like, it became really fun, like, kind of like a self-teaching, kind of a deal. And then you get to share, there's tutorials on YouTube, or there's just people that do tutorials on Facebook and stuff. Sometimes they'll give like ideas or tips or whatever. And, so the community in that was always like just super, super helpful, which I think is usually synonymous with a healthy culture, right? Like when people are not like sandbagging information or whatever, or trying to like come up without everybody else coming up also, which right. I haven't really seen much of that at all, which I think is really, really cool. There's people that are trying to come up but I don't see anybody like trying to keep anybody down out of it, right? Which I think is
Yeah,
super cool.
Unless your name's Zach Spender.
agreed, buddy.
Okay.
You don't want to talk about gatekeeping with this guy. He'll be
Yeah, that's a huge topic. I hear that term thrown around so much. Like I don't even do the Facebook groups anymore because it does seem to get really petty, and the term gatekeeping seems to be like a really big deal. And I don't know if that's really what is happening, or if it's just there are people that are putting in more work and more time and energy to be what they want to be in throwing. You know,
Right.
in anything, there's people that complain. You know, and if you're complaining more than you're putting in effort to stop having a reason to complain, you got to take stock in that. Like,
Right.
stop.
Yeah, right. If you're not having fun, stop. Yeah, I don't really comment. Like I usually, even when I'm scoring or something, like I don't comment, I don't make noise, I don't make a sound unless somebody asks me. Then I'll tell them what I know. But in this, there's no one way to do it. There's a lot of ways to do it. Everybody's throw is going to be different. We say it every podcast. Everybody's throw is going to be different. You take what you've learned and incorporate it into your throw to make yourself better. Like I said, we're almost an abomination of different throwers in one thrower. I went to Mackenzie's place. He taught me a bunch of stuff that was god awful, terrible, didn't work for me at all. And then one day I used one thing that he taught me, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's better. That's better for me." But trying to copy his throw and doing the exact same thing wasn't working for me. And a lot of that had to do with he just didn't want me to get as good as him. So he was trying to keep me from learning. That's what he does.
Taught you wrong as a joke.
Yeah. Get him.
I did.
But yeah, I mean, like, so, you know, back to Lobo, like that IVA type throwing.
Oh,
Look,
dude.
I mean, and that was, you know, I chimed in with Danger the other day. He was talking about, I think the scamp thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Tendons do move faster than muscles. And Lobo was a perfect example of that because he could throw through a hockey puck at 60 something miles an hour at 4 meters with, I mean, just a complete body wave and a whip out of that wrist. Jonas Antokoski, who doesn't put
is what he called, because I had him teach me in Ohio. Isometric tension is what he called it. That finger, whipping it. Yes,
and you have to practice that. Like you don't just have elasticity like that.
Yes,
but you can get it, and it's a lot of muscle group and tendon that is. I mean, it's super useful if you know how to throw that. So, but then, what was the guy? Like super yoked dude used to throw it. Nobody sees him anymore. Rolf Steele, I think was his. God, what was that? He was so good. Just threw missiles. Anyway, but he threw completely stiff arms, stiff everything. Like the knife and his forearm was parallel, and it was all just trunk. It was elbow locked to the trunk and just spiral missiles. I can't think of that guy's name. He was so good.
Was he on IG?
Huh?
Was he on Instagram?
Only on YouTube, I think. I think he did IG for a little bit, and I think he probably saw all of us being like, "Oh, I'm catching cans," and but he was like, "I'm out, dude, like, lame." Yeah, because like the UK guys, like they're all like throwing very well. You know what I mean? Like even their content that's not sport oriented, like their lifestyle oriented content, is seldom a can catch or something. It's just like 14-meter bullet spins and putting them all in a spot. And it's like, oh, that's amazing. You know?
That's impressive to a trick shot thrower, the same way what we do is impressive to a non-trick shot thrower.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. The right ones, the ones that understand it, the ones that don't, you know, you get some of the yelling at clouds that are like, "Oh, that's not how I used to," you know, but you get that anywhere you go.
100%.
That's just the way it is. Trick shots, like I said before, like you said, campsite, they're more drills than anything. There are certain ones that are trick shots, but they're more drills than anything to kind of help you with certain aspects of your game, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I'm with that. You know, Django Geeson, that guy, the Frankfurt Phenoms, what I call him. Like, I mean, he's ring catching Robin Hoods. You know what I mean? Like, who does that, dude? Like, he's catching 3-4 rings back to back multiple times, and he's got. I mean, if he had like a really dope sesh spot and had the ability to put his camera in some really good angles,
yes,
there's no telling what his content would look like. I mean, like. If he had great lighting and stuff, like, oh my god, dude, like,
yeah, Angles, the presentation is so important, especially for online trick shot throwers. Presentation is so important. There's
Yep.
a lot that are very good trick shot throwers, but they're just setting their camera up and pointing it at the same spot every single time. And I'm like, dude, find new angles, find new spots.
Yep.
Move around a bit.
Presentation is so important in online trick shot throwing, in my opinion. Again, and that's just my opinion. It means absolutely nothing, but it matters so much. So much. On that, get into the Illuminati campsite if you don't mind.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
I like just coming up with like quirky, dumb shit. Just period. I mean, that's just kind of like how I'm wired, I guess. And I forget what it was that kind of like sparked it one night, but it was aluminum cans, Illuminati. It was just kind of like a thing. It was Illuminati for a second, and then Dom, I think, was like he hit me back and spelt it Illuminati, and I was like, of course that's what it is. It's not Illuminati, you idiot. And I just thought it just kind of hit. I thought it was just kind of quirky and funny. I wasn't expecting anything out of it, but it did give me an excuse. It gave me like a consistency I could kind of run like through my platform. Kind of like with you with the follow me hand from the jump. It was so sick. Like it was such a
Thank you.
it would be like an opening riff of like Led Zeppelin. Like you'd already know who it is. Like as soon as your content comes out, like you know who it is, or you know how it's going to end. It was very consistent. And what that did for me was just give me a reason I could hashtag something that was mine. But it wasn't me. Like it was never about me. It was about it being a thing that you could pick up and be like, hey, I'm in this shit too. Make a little gang sign and whatever. And so it just so happened to be. I just thought it was just kind of cool, and it kind of clicked. Lobo thought it was funny. This is kind of when D2A is really kind of coming about and stuff too. Mitch ends up talking to Ace, and he was the first person to start making the rings. This was Mitch's idea. I gave him the idea of hey, we should do some aluminum rings because everybody's catching rings. They were all brass or steel. Can't Illuminati a brass or a steel ring, but you can an aluminum ring. So we made them out of aluminum, and originally it was more like the logo than a triangle. But anyway, it was all Mitch that got these going, and they were super fun. They kind of came like 1, 2, 3, like in a kit that kind of broke apart. I thought was dope. So like the merch thing really kind of solidified it. 2022 at Danger Fest, the Illuminati had only been out for a couple of months, but like Lauren Dennis and her husband had a shirt. Ziggy had a shirt on. I mean, it was the flyweights.
Can't wait.
That was something that Tony kind of helped with a little bit. But Karosh's his quality was like too nice. I mean, this is my farm knife that I use for net. It is like such nice leather. I mean, this is what I use for cutting net all day. But I mean, his Kydex has no seams, and I got a quick draw sheet from him. Like it's completely seamless in the Kydex where it comes together. Everything he does is so meticulously awesome. I think that Knife Throwing wasn't really ready to pay that kind of money. Like the fast draw sheath that he came out with, it was all modular. I have one with all the magnets. It's a lot of just money just in material. You know what I mean? And
especially for people that are spending all their money on knives. It's like it's hard to buy a custom sheath, because I just spent all my money on knives or tomahawks or something.
Yeah, I would sell 100 of my throwing knives, and I would keep about 15 of them.
Right.
I throw these synergies from Zach all the time, or I throw the Cybers for Roto. And every now and then, Maui 80 made this Illuminati knife, this 10 millimeter fluted for me back in the day. And it was the biggest thing that I could catch this little half-inch on. But, and that's the other thing I think that people, going back just to the makers and stuff, people like Lewis, they have so many knives to choose from. And if you're going to get into like knife catch type stuff, you really need to kind of be exploring knives that have a really shallow like belly to spine, so you can catch really small shit, because you're not going to catch that on a big Bowie knife. I mean, it's going to get that far into the wood, it's going to dump out, you're going to get bummed all the time. So I mean, that little heron would take a half inch all the way through it. So
Aries, Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, those are so nice. I have his Schlack. So a story about Lewis to tell you just what a quality person he is. I had 2 Schlacks that I broke at the top scale hole. Obviously, just something that happens in heat treat for sure. It's 1095. It's good steel. He sends me 3 instead of 2 out of 80 CRV2, no scale holes, presentation box, everything. He didn't ask for the other ones back, or nothing. Like, he's just like, oh, they broke. Let me
Yeah.
send you a fucking set of better steel. I mean, 80 CRV2 is expensive bar stock. You know what I mean? And here's a set in a presentation box. And it's like,
Yeah, he stands behind his work. I have one baby sax that broke, and he had it replaced in a week, and he had my name engraved on it. It was mirrored almost.
Yeah.
'Cause it's a flashy.
totally.
Yeah, just a good dude, man. Very good. But yeah, Mackenzie, you want to hit him with our third sponsor?
What's that? Sorry,
You want to hit
out
him
there
with
for a
our
minute.
third sponsor?
Oh, Nobody Knife Works. You can go check him out on Etsy. What's the other? Oh, it's James's page.
Few good knives.
Good knife. Good knives. Good knives.
Few good knives.
Few good knives. Yeah. James Gillespie's website. A Few Good Knives.
Say it one more time. James Gillespie's website.
James Gillespie's website. Say that
Now-
5 times fast.
Now hit him with the code for that.
Max Benders for 10% off when you make your purchase.
So proud of you.
My local sponsor, Fort Scott Munitions. You can go to fortscottmunitions.com to check out their Tumble Upon Impact ammunition. That's got something right there.
124s.
Sports guy. We
Two
haven't
eyes,
had
man. Those are
any
free.
to show off. I need to bring in a pizza to show off for Little Italy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's usually gone by the time I get it here, though. On that, Mackenzie, hit him with your trick shot of the week. It'll be the same one that we did the last show that we just did. So don't.
Was it Petum?
I know what it is, but it's more fun to watch you stumble through it. Keep going.
Dude, it's terrible. I can't pronounce his name.
Petidom.
What?
Petidom. Petidom.
Petidom, yeah.
Petidom.
That dude. He did this sweet friggin' trick shot where he had a can like setting, 8 inches from the target or so. Threw another can behind it, pinned both of them to the target.
Oh, did he get that? I haven't seen it. I tried that a couple of weeks ago, and I pinned the one behind it, and the front one never moved, which was equally as cool, I thought, but it wasn't what I was trying to do. That's cool that somebody got that. I thought that was. I have not seen that done before, and so I'm glad somebody got that. That's a cool shot. And that's a legit trick shot. That is tracking. You are pitching correctly,
Timing.
You're doing all the fundamentals right to make that work. And it's not easy to get that thing behind the can. It's also not easy to get the front can even set up good to where you're not going to. I mean, you have to have a little bit of room for it to fall in there, and you can't just trust the fact that it's going to just slide down the backboard.
Well, and you're not doing that rotational either. You got no spin, half spin. You could get away with
half
it.
spin, of course, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll have to check it because he comes through my Instagram feed pretty regular, so I'm sure it's on there. I'll have to check it. Well, how long ago was that? A week?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just go to his page anyway. But man, that's sick. That's awesome.
And my trick shot of the week is Dom with his fast draw can pin. Held his hand out like this. Didn't do it in front of him because that's frowned upon. Held his hand out like this. Threw the can. Pulled the knife. Throw the knife. Stuck the can. Fantastic. Dom's a killer thrower.
Dom is a killer. He's a disc golfer now too, man. He's got the disc golf bug with me, and he hits me up once a week with either a picture of some shit he bought that he shouldn't have, or I played today. It was awesome. It's always something. It's so cool.
I love Dom, dude. I talk to him every other week.
He is such a sweet guy.
Did you talk to him and schedule an interview yet?
Dom?
Mm-hmm.
We're still working that out.
Okay. All right.
He's working for a new company, so his schedule's a little out of whack right now.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And he's playing disc golf.
Yeah, and he's playing disc golf.
He may start getting more out of pocket every day. Who knows?
On that campsite, you got anything else you want to say, man?
Yeah. Speaking of your last sponsor, Nobody, I'm going to get Mark Andrew. I knew that he was Nobody, I think, first. And I think it was for a few months that nobody knew that's who it was. But Mark Andrew Yap, He was a super good thrower. He hit me up a couple of years ago, and we had a really awful conversation. And I just want to apologize. I was in a bad state of working on equipment in a field. He called me up and wanted to discuss some topic that I'm not really pumped about as as a topic, and said some mean shit and kind of hung up. So Mark, I'm really sorry. I was a dick. I think you're still pretty awesome, and but I still feel the same way about about that topic. So, but at any rate, he's a super good dude, and I never reached out to that. But since I have the opportunity to, I'm going to. He's a solid guy. He's done a lot for the culture. He makes his
dude, and he's very understanding.
Another really consistent guy in his content. Right? It was always black and white. It was always
Yeah.
mysterious. It was
The mask.
all of that. It was that's, and I think that's what knife throwing kind of needs, is that like consistency. Like if you like Nobody Knife Works, that's your vibe. If you like Prince Steel, that's your vibe. If you like Bullseye Blaze being back and stuff, which is dope. Like that's they're even kind of team oriented. Like just the content, how they just present themselves in content, right? So. But yeah, at any rate, I that's what I like to see in the growth of it is, I would love to, if anybody makes a DVD of your team, I will buy it. I will buy a DVD in 2026. If you don't even like send me a link, you know what I mean?
They have to be knife throwing though. They have to be knife throwing.
Oh yeah. I don't want to. I don't want to
be
see you guys.
careful.
You don't want the
marketing
OnlyFans shit?
Yeah, you'll get some DVDs in your mail you're not ready for.
stuff. No, man. No, not that at
I didn't
all.
sign up for this.
But that's admirable. It takes a big man to apologize, especially publicly like that. So good for you. Good on you. Can you hit them with your socials? Any socials that you want to promote?
Not really. I'm about to do some big stuff with the farm coming up, and I will start probably putting out even less and less content that's not oriented towards agriculture. Probably, I'm just getting old. And disc golf is just so fun. I live right down from the 7th oldest one in the world. It's like 5 blocks from my house. There's 20 of them here in town. There's thousands of people that play. So I've kind of gone into plastic anymore. As a matter of fact, these are all. I'm sending these all to Angel US. If you guys know him, he's about to get into disc golf. So I'm about to save him $100 and let him play with some plastic. But the social media thing, I think I'm gonna try to just go towards YouTube pretty soon. It's the Illuminati 520 numeric 520. If anybody wants to look on there, there's some old stuff on there that may be kind of cool to look at. But probably just gonna play Tractor Man for a while and play with dogs. So,
I understand.
But dude, I'm so pumped for you guys making this platform. I think this is great. I mean, I've listened to every one of them. They're very, again, it goes back to being consistent and solid. I think that's what anything needs, but throwing right now I think would really benefit from something like this, where you guys reach out. When Danger and I were doing this, we'd get in the weeds so far, just like talking like we do on the phone. You guys having like a system to go by is
itinerary.
A really good recipe. So
itinerary buzzword around here. It's one of our favorite words. Mackenzie hates it.
It's buzzword.
Okay.
He claims to be super organized at one time.
Hey, Mac, Campsite wants you to spell itinerary.
Me?
Yeah.
I never claimed to be able to fucking spell it. I'm the one that doesn't even go by.
You were so awesome, man. So
hey, buddy, I can't spell it either.
Call me out like that, brother.
That's so hilarious. I love you, dude.
Mackenzie, hit him with your socials.
Max Stoughton on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
That's fast. They're already hitting him up.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Happened already.
And my personal socials at Washita Axe Nail on Facebook, at the Axe Bender on Instagram and TikTok. Make sure you're following the podcast pages on Facebook, Instagram, and we are back in our TikTok at the Max Bender's Throwcast. Also, go find us on Spotify, and we are on YouTube. The episodes get up later on YouTube, but if you want the episodes, they'll be on Spotify. So,
Axe Bender got logged back into our TikTok finally.
Yeah, I got logged back into our TikTok. Whatever, buddy. Real original. Real funny. On that note, Campsite, we appreciate you being with us, buddy. It's been a lot.
Thanks for joining us. It's been awesome, man.
Yeah. We'll see you guys on the next one.